Couch Pilots replacement co-host, interview 2, Stephanie Clark. DSJ, bring her in, please. Hey, hi, Steph.
That's all.
How are you?
Hi.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm great.
That's how I talk to women. It's very patronizing. Hi, hey,
like
how
I'm
are
a child.
You know why you're here.
I do.
You're on a very long list of applicants, and the first applicant that I've actually taken seriously to replace Blake while he's on a vision quest.
Okay, great.
I don't think it's a vision quest. I think it's him dealing with alcoholism.
I mean, it could be him dealing with a lot of things. Let's be honest.
Yep. Honesty is the name of the game. I got a few questions for you, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. First, do you have a drinking problem?
No, not at the moment. I'm currently with child, so I'm trying to stay away from the booze. Yeah.
That's good for the child, but I will say it's bad for the show.
It's very true. Very true.
Have you slept with over 100 men or women?
No.
I couldn't ask. My daughter interviewed last week,
Right.
and I couldn't ask her that one.
Yeah, I'm
Mainly
glad
because
you
I already know the
didn't.
answer, and you do not want to know which one it is.
I'm glad you didn't ask her.
But I'm sorry, you did say yes or no?
That'd be no. Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually either way on that one. Do you have any zany nicknames?
Ooh. Well, no. I mean, like, I guess my father-in-law calls me the three-named woman because my last name used to be two separate words. I don't know if you call that zany.
No, I don't. I don't like that. We'll edit that out. Which is your favorite child, Ian, unborn, or your husband, Kevin?
Oh, I have to pick between the three.
Yeah, which child is your
I
favorite?
thought you were saying Ian when he was unborn. Oh,
your current child is named unborn, or
correct? Yes, correct.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Greg. Do you have a name picked out?
We do, but we're keeping it.
We're keeping it a secret.
Somewhat secret, yeah.
Well, the child, there's no paperwork's been signed, so I'll just say this. The name Jason, oddly enough, is a very strong name.
It is.
Do you know what it means?
No, I don't.
And it comes from the Latin of teetering on diabetic.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep that in mind.
And high cholesterol.
I'll have to look at that.
Well, if I'm picking my favorite of three, it's hands down Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Would you have trouble? Blake wrote this for me.
Oh, okay.
He said, make sure to ask any female applicant this
Sure.
question because I wouldn't come up with a question like this. He said, would you be able, would you have trouble focusing on the podcast with me being in the same room as you? Like, is my handsomeness too distracting?
Yeah, probably.
It feels weird when you say it. Like Blake, a lot of times Blake has me cut this out of the show, but there is an attraction. He hovers around a 3 to 3.5 on the Kinsey scale.
Okay, sure.
And it's like right in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Oddly enough, it's a scale of 7 as well. And so like when he says I'm handsome, I kind of like it. I don't know. Okay, well that's actually hold on. Can you read this first line that's highlighted? Highlighted or highlit?
Very professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She used to be an actress.
Okay, we're done here. Thank you for coming in. If you have any questions, just email to me and DSJ. We'll see you out.
Okay,
All
perfect.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Do you have it? Do you have it?
She used to be an actress.
Did you ever do anything I would have seen?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV.
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows.
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show is called the pilot. And then they show that one show to the people who pick shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make shows. More of them it is. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't become nothing. She started one of the ones that became nothing. You gotta try new things. You know, you can't stagnate.
I agree. Very much so.
Welcome to Couch Pilots. All of you are my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television, pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my available aviator. It's Captain Kebmo Slice. How goes it?
Goes good.
Hey, you ever hear this song before?
Probably.
Die, death, day. You don't know. Birth, day, death, day.
That's a show called Metalocalypse.
Right. When I first saw it, I couldn't pronounce it. I thought it was like
Metalocalypse?
Metapaclisp? Metallipus. Madalips. Madeline Albright.
What's that band that plays the Master of Puppets? Is it Metallica?
I think the T is silent.
Malachi.
Malachi.
Yeah,
You got it.
Malachi. Okay,
You got
gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
Kevin is back on the show because Blake is still
By the way,
gone.
if you hear those like weird phone sounds,
Right.
it doesn't come through the recording.
That's great to know.
From
because
what
I
I have heard
yeah.
previously,
Okay.
it does not. But
Blake is still gone, and as far as I'm concerned, I'll never mention him again.
ever.
But Kevin is back this week to help me keep the show going.
You hear that?
I've got something that happened to me recently.
Yeah, what's that?
You're
gonna take the banter for this show too? Cool.
No, I was going to do a little banter.
No, that's okay. Do your little banter.
Okay. I love Pluto TV. Right, it's free television.
What's that?
Free.
What's the name of it?
Pluto TV. It's free TV.
Never heard of it.
You download the application and it just starts working. You don't have to do anything. You have to set up an account. There's no credit card. Pluto TV just works. Okay. All right, guys.
We'll be right back after this sponsored message.
Okay, guys. All right. I'm Bill Maher. Okay.
Start the clock.
Bum bum. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Pluto
watching.
TV.
I'm watching the Pluto TV, right? And
It's not a network; it's an app.
Right. And all of a sudden, I'm watching Dawn of the Dead, the old I think it's like 82 George Romero zombie film.
Yep.
Or 78. It was 78.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know that it is highly regarded as one of the first zombie films.
Well, Night of the Living Dead for sure was. That was like
Okay.
68.
Yeah, but
it's weird. You look through George Romero's directing, and it's all zombies.
It's just all zombies. I mean, hey,
Like,
you
all
know
right,
what?
whatever.
You find it out. He invented the genre. Whatever. Cool. Good for you.
So I'm watching the Dawn of the Dead because it's on. It's the original one where they like hold up in a mall.
And that's with Simon Pegg, right?
Correct. Love. Yeah. Shaun of the Dead with Simon Pegg and Nicholas Frost.
The fat guy, yeah, Nicholas Frost. There you go.
And it goes to commercial break as Pluto TV often does.
Yeah,
And
it's free. I mean,
you can't complain.
can't complain. It's free.
Except maybe you complain about this. There's a commercial for vegans.
I've seen it. I've seen
You
it.
have
on
not seen this.
on Pluto TV. Yeah,
There's no way.
yeah.
Because during this commercial, they show the slaughtering, the gutting, and literal beheading of animals.
I didn't see that. Nope, didn't see it.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I saw animals beheaded on a commercial. What that fucking freaked, and it was just like late last night. I was watching this because I was like, "Hey, I watched last week's program called Slickers. I got to watch this program called North Hollywood because I do work
is that
for
what we're
it.
watching today?
Yeah,
Okay,
because I do work for it. It feels like a job, so I'm like procrastinating a little bit. So I'm just laying on the couch, and I'm scared of winter because I feel like I'm just going to lay around all winter. I'm fucking freaked out about
You're
it.
gonna make yourself a nice gut shelf.
Oh yeah, nice ziti,
nice,
Barry Zito.
Hey, you know what they say?
Hey!
You know what they say is
Oh, what do they say?
you gotta build a shed to cover your best tool.
Oh, forget about it.
Once I get on that couch, it's over. Like, to me, I have to keep moving if I want to be productive. Because as soon as I sit down, it's done. I'm watching Dawn of the Dead.
What about sitting up? Sitting up.
No,
Difference?
if I sit up, I'm done.
Even sitting-
If I
even-
get on that couch in any form on that couch,
Okay, so not laying. Okay, cool.
ass down, face up, you
It's
know.
the way we like to watch TV.
And I was like, all right, I'll watch a little bit of Dawn of the Dead before I watch North Hollywood. And the fucking commercial shows them cutting like a calf's head off or something. And I was like, I can't watch this. You
Man, that's
ever see a
wild.
commercial like that?
No, but I did seek out. Shouldn't say seek out. Did stumble upon a video of a dog's dew claw becoming removed,
That's the one that's kind of halfway up the leg that
Yeah.
doesn't really serve a purpose.
and they cut it off when they're very
Yeah.
newborn, like right out of the womb, pretty
Yeah.
much. And I was just interested. I just was, you go down these. So I've been calling them K-holes, like a YouTube K-hole, Wikipedia K-hole. Apparently, the term K-hole means that you're on ketamine.
Sure. I thought that's what you were getting at. No?
But no, I was not.
Okay.
But I go on these
Good to know.
K-holes, no ketamine involved. Okay.
Ketamine free.
Yeah, ketamine
Ketamine-free
free K-hole.
K-hole.
Yeah. Show title.
Cha-ching,
So,
cha-ching.
but I need to find out. Wormhole is probably the more accurate term. Going down it, looking up dew claws, just because it was like right when we had gotten Gus, and
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Gus is your child.
our baby boy Gus, and there's like no. I mean, you really study the anatomy of a dog when you're just like bored and like
Always.
not really watching anything on TV, and you're
Yes.
just kind of like, I figured out he has earlobes. It's very weird. There's like a little flap in his ears, whatever. And so I'm like, dew claws. What's the deal? And for some reason, it's like dew claw removal, and I thought it was going to be like an educational, like, this is why it's done. And it's just a video of people like at a vet or like at a fucking puppy mill or something, just like with like just like
God.
those like wire cutter scissor things, and I'm just like, okay, this is what a circumcision is like.
Yeah, probably so.
Because I was in the room for my son's circumcision. They said like, well, do you guys want to be in the room at all? And
Yeah.
like, apparently 90% of the time, the answer for both parents is no fucking way.
But you're like, bring it on.
I was just like, I mean, if I'm not going to be in the way,
Mm-hmm.
sure, I'd like to see what happens, because I have a certain kind of autism, I think, that I mean, it's not really autism. It's more Asperger's-y, that I don't, like, he's screaming, crying, but I'm just like,
This
whatever.
is normal.
This
happens
this
every
happens.
day. He's fine.
And I think that that's something that you and I kind of almost share, a little bit of lack of emotion in times where you know that the end outcome is going to be fine.
Yeah, you just have to submit to logic and pragmatism.
It's not emotional intelligence, I don't think. I think it's just emotional logic. Yeah, logic. Yeah. So like whatever. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll just watch it. So that's what happened. And that's what when I was watching the video, I'm just kind of like, okay.
Your
Yeah.
your child's circumcision,
Yeah.
I think, is derivative of the greatest karaoke biggie title name in history. That's Baby Dixon Chili.
Yeah.
And it was
That's a
like
good
Dixon chili,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Baby Dixon chili. That's because of Dixon cider.
That's one of my favorite episodes of KBE.
Yeah.
I will say that it's funny that you demanded to be in your son's circumcision, because I demanded to be in my daughter's female circumcision.
Wow.
Yeah, and God, it doesn't seem like 3 weeks ago, but it was already. She'll be 15 in a couple months. The woman should have no pleasure from sex.
Yeah, exactly. I have a quick banter. I'm on a diet.
Yes, I'm done with my weird vegan commercial slaughter. It was very upsetting.
Don't
I want
look
to
it up.
give you.
Don't look it up.
I want to give you plenty of time for your banter.
Okay, here's my plenty of time. I'm on a diet.
Won't you banter me?
I'm on a diet.
How so? Why?
I'm on a diet because I'm fat as hell. I think I'm. I shouldn't say I think I'm gotta be considered obese at this point, right? In technical terms.
I would say, okay, not morbidly.
No. I wouldn't give myself that, because honestly, I mean, I'm not. It's kind of like,
Morbidly is when a big fat guy wears like a scary mask, right?
yeah. The fuck is wrong with your phone, Jason? Unplug it. Get that shit out of here. I'm taking it out. I'm doing it. Hey guys, if that just sounded very weird, it's because
Of Kevin's
something
inferior
happened.
equipment.
Yeah.
Fucking pony up and get some good shit.
Jesus Christ.
Listen,
So
you got to get on a diet.
yeah. Now it's kind of like me admitting that I'm funny. Like I'm not being super humble, but I'm not also like super braggy. It's like, yeah, I'm funny. Okay, I'm not morbidly obese. I understand that. You know,
Okay,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know that I'm not. I do have health problems because of my eating and my lack of exercise, and my weight is increasing faster than it should. Basically, you know, just in a like 6-year period, you shouldn't gain, you know, like 50 pounds. Like, you shouldn't do that.
Right.
6 years, like 10 pounds a year is not good. There are people that gain a lot more than that in a shorter amount of time. I understand that. I've seen it also.
Sure.
Right? So I just know that it's a path that, you know, whatever. Got to figure it out. Nip it in the bud. I'm drinking Miller 64.
Yeah, I did ask you. I was like, as a kindness, let me bring some beer to you, and you're like, I drink shit.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Is it good though? Is it bad? How do you like it?
It's just, it's extra light beer, as you can see.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's 64 calories. It's just tastes like Miller Lite.
I don't know what the calorie of mine, but I'm drinking New
I'm sure.
Belgium's Higher Plane IPA. It's a hazy Imperial IPA.
Yeah.
Sitting safely and securely at 8.5%.
Now, I think the calories don't really matter as far as percentage goes, because you can have a low calorie IPA. You can have something like as low as like 90 calories.
Really?
There's one, Dogfish Head makes one that's called a low cal IPA. I forgot what it's called, but it's like 90 calories.
They're out there, yeah.
Yeah. So for sure, and it's still like at like a 9%, 90
Ooh,
calorie,
wow.
like 9%. Yeah, I'm on board.
Right, you're
Right.
talking my language.
Yeah, exactly. So this one is just kind of like, it's an easy drinker, and it has less alcohol percentage too. So you can just have like 10 of them and just
Okay, so that's step
Right.
one.
Step one.
What is it? 64, right?
64. Yeah.
So okay, so what else are you doing?
I've been eating for lunch and dinner, pretty much exclusively, except for when you saw me eating dinner, the burrito gigante.
If I came into you watching or seeing what you had for dinner just now, and you're like, I am on a diet, I would say you can't be trusted.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Is,
Eating big Mexican cheesy burritos.
here's the thing. I did a patented Philip Ressisher move.
Oh.
Because I knew that we were going to be recording this evening.
Sure.
I went over to the man's home.
Yeah, you went to Blake's house before we recorded this evening.
I had a few beers with him. Because I was like,
You got to drink with Blake.
got to drink before Couch Pilots.
You got
I
to.
got to drink before Couch Pilots on a weekday.
Yeah, you got to get fucked up, man. That's how we do it.
Pre-game it. So no, I was just like, I just kind of threw it out the window, and I'm like, okay, this is for real. I'm starting it, and I've said that a million times, but I actually have an Instagram account called Daddy Clark Diet.
Oh, follow Daddy Clark Diet, won't you, please?
One word, Daddy Clark Diet.
We'll give you some frequent flyer points if you follow him.
Yeah, and it's basically me. Do you ever use the Instagram platform whatsoever? No. Okay, so there's stories. You understand how that works because of Twitter now, right?
Sure.
You have fleets, whatever stories. So, I just have been doing stories just like last night and today, just saying like, hey, I'm not following, and this is honest, it's just a stream of consciousness really, because I'm not following any diet. I'm not following any, by the law, any strict diet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not looking anything up. I'm not counting any calories. This is the low calorie beer. That's why
The road
I
to
chose it.
success.
Yeah. It's just like I'm not actually doing any real work. I'm just like
No research, no prep, just
mindfulness
okay.
and grilled chicken and lettuce, basically.
Everyone's got their own
know?
way, and hopefully your way is working for you. For me, it needs to be like I have to know what I'm going to eat. I have to have meal prep and portion prep
For sure.
And then once
that's a part of mine. Right?
once that's done, it's like okay, if I know I'm taking in X amount, it doesn't even have to be calorie counting. It just be like,
No.
I know that it's a very reasonable portion.
This sized thing.
Yeah, it's not like
it's in a Tupperware.
I
That's
never
how do
buy
it.
potato chips, but potato chips is always the go-to thing. It's like, once I open a bag, I eat the whole bag, and it's like because there's no it ends when it ends.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
when you just keep shoveling it in your face.
Got to buy those mini bags.
Yeah.
Those lunch bags.
Lunchables, that's right. Get some cheese, crackers, meat,
Pizza. The pizza
Ooh,
Lunchable.
Yeah, gross.
Disgusting. Ketchup on a piece of weird not bread.
It's like it's soft, but it's hard too. How did it do that? How did that crust do that?
It's not
It's cold,
it's not chalky, but it's not chalky.
but I can't breathe it in.
It's fucked.
So that good luck to
Portion
you.
control. Yeah, it's just simply what I've been doing is I grill a bunch of chicken
Yeah,
on the grill.
Smart.
and I put a reasonable rub on there that seems to be healthy enough. Grill the chicken, cut it up, half a chicken breast on a quarter a head of iceberg lettuce.
If you stick to that, that'll get you there.
With a half of a bell pepper, just to
Love bell peppers.
just to kind of put more in there.
Yeah.
Put more in there with less impact. Hey, you know what? If you're going to tell me that bell peppers have any caloric deficiencies that I should be keeping them out, save it.
They bring the life to the party. I tell you
Yeah,
that.
it puts a little color in there too.
Hey, listen to this. My brother, I went up with him to the Galloping Ghost, last week.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, this is what I've been doing. I've been taking a cabbage and I've been
Okay.
cutting it into eighths.
Okay.
So 8 wedges make a whole cabbage.
Yeah.
And then I take one of those wedges and I wrap bacon around it.
Okay.
And I stick
like
that
this.
on a baking pan for I think 20 or 30 minutes, or it was like 30 or 40 minutes at 425.
Okay.
And he says, I don't know about you, but I love Brussels sprouts.
Yes.
Like you cut them in half.
Oh, yes.
You put them in oil and a cast iron, some salt. It's the best thing you've ever had in your life. And you think,
turning me on now.
you're like, Brussels sprouts, what are you, some kind of idiot? And he's like, hey, why don't you try it? It's incredible.
So good.
He says it's like that, but on a bigger scale because
Yeah.
it's a big piece
The
of
wedge.
cabbage.
Yeah, wedge.
And then you got the bacon, like putting all the bacon fat and the grease
Stuff on there, yeah.
into the cabbage. I mean, cabbage is good for you. And if you want to go paleo where it's just veggies and meat, hey, you can do a lot worse.
Bacon is actually good for you. You know?
You do a lot worse than bacon wrapped cabbage, my
Yeah.
friend.
And so he's just been doing that, like 1 or just kind of
They're
having
doing
a
it
couple
just
of
for dinner.
those.
He doesn't need to lose weight, but it's a salt and pepper thing. He says
Okay.
it's salt and pepper
Yeah,
to taste.
for sure, yeah.
Wrap that shit up, throw it in there, and it comes out incredible. And I said,
I'm doing that.
sounds awesome.
I'm doing that tomorrow night. No joke.
I have a cabbage. I think I will do it tomorrow.
I'm doing it tomorrow. No joke.
Yeah.
Because I have to go to the grocery store. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. That sounds awesome. That is something that I'm kind of looking for on my Instagram account, Daddy Clark Diet. Follow that, look at the stories, and I'm going to be asking for recommendations for stuff to eat. And I'm going to lose weight.
Good luck to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Bing bong.
Bitcoin.
Hi ho.
Off to work we go.
Technically, this very day is the 15 to 16, 17, 18, 19. Today is the 5th anniversary of the show.
Yeah, it is. I know that.
Today is year number 5.
I know that because of an extra special secret project.
Oh, yes. I also am aware of this project, and I
Yeah.
will not say anything.
Yeah.
But, yes, today is exactly 5 years that I've been a part of the Couch Pilots program, and I'm very happy to keep it going, and we will see Blake hopefully back to the show very soon. Kevin,
Yeah.
you are doing a wonderful job.
Oh, wow. Wow. 1 episode in. Oh, I can't even believe
Whatever.
the praise.
But to celebrate, we had, I don't know if it's called an email. It might be like
Okay, what is it? Is it an email or no?
It was an article written and posted to the Couch Pilots website.
Really?
Yeah. And actually, I'm going to preface it because I'll tell you who it's from.
I know who it's from.
Oh, I'm just going to let everyone know because I'm going to kind of go through the conversation too. I got a text the other day
Website. Okay, go ahead.
from fan favorite. He's only been on the show a couple times. I think 3.
Rough Magic,
Yeah.
The Marathon, and one other time.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
The marathon, but you mean episode 200?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, David Lytle, who has moved out of the Peoria area into, I believe, North Carolina, Chapel
Yep.
Hill area, perhaps.
Yeah.
And-
Asheville almost.
And he sends me a message the other day.
Fan favorite, also host favorite, Jason favorite.
He honestly, that Rough Magic
Yeah, it's
episode.
your favorite episode. Yeah.
And you and Matt were there too.
It was the best. I'm not going to disagree.
It was the best. It was my favorite. Anyway, David sends me a message a few days ago. He says, for some reason or another, I was half asleep in bed this morning. And I started writing an article about couch pilots in my head.
I already love this.
So when I got it so when I got up, I typed it out. I just sent it over to you guys via the website. I said, "Holy hell, that's amazing! Can't wait to check it out. Thank you." And he said, "Also, happy belated birthday." So thank you so much, David.
Yeah.
And I read a little bit of this, but most of this is me reading it for the first time.
Is this on a comment on an episode? Or no?
I don't know. I don't
Is
know
it
what it
through the contact tab on the website?
This is my guess. Okay, so he I think through the contact on the website.
Okay.
But my guess, this is just going to be a stream of consciousness about the program. Are you ready?
I can't wait.
All right.
Now let's hear it.
So David says,
An article.
Yeah, it says new message from your podcast page, Couch Pilots Podcast, from David Lytle.
Yeah, that's
and it gives me his email address. And it says message, Couch Pilots. You may have couch surfed, but have you ever flown in one? Well, that's exactly what Captain Black Magnet and Captain Philip Rest Assured do each and every week as they take us on an adventure in our minds. These two are a class act, even if that is the lower half of the Phoenix Online graduating class of 2015. Kind of plays nicely into the anniversary.
Yeah, definitely.
As Rest Assured, Jason Tosher, which I'm not Rest Assured, he's wrong, takes us up Black Magnet, Blake Clayton. I'm the Black Magnet. You know why they call me the Black Magnet?
Of course.
Okay. I won't say it then.
Yeah, of course, yeah. We all do.
It takes us up. The Black Magnet keeps us there as they explore a review failed reviewed failed television pilots of the past and chat with some guests along the way. As you soar through the airwaves, you will discover just what it is like to have lived in the time of each show's release, and will be surprised at just how modern of an invention Band-Aids are.
I'm loving this. This means that he listened, right?
He regularly listens.
I love
He's in contact with Blake and I sometimes about
God,
this.
I love it so much.
He's the best. He's the best. He is missed.
He's making a 6er, by the way.
Was that? Oh, is he? Good.
Yeah.
They also provide you with cold hard facts about the programs that are quite interesting and shan't be tainted or commented on. Before they provide you with a run through the episode, you get a good glimpse into the lives of the captains while they discuss anything from their plethora of physical ailments to stupid girlfriends and ex-wives. By the end, they review the show and try to pinpoint
I think dumb girlfriend is what he meant to say.
Yeah, that's fine. You know what, David? I forgive you.
That's funny.
By the end, they review the show and try to pinpoint just what it was that caused each show to never make it past a pilot episode. Then they give you their own rating based on the lovable characters of Wings, the sitcom Wings, so as to not cause any confusion just how good or bad the show was. Just hope you don't get yourself into a 90-minute situation with a Roy Biggins, which is the worst score you can get on the show.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you'll be racking up the frequent flyer miles as you buckle up with this comedic duo each week, and may even be lucky enough to score tickets to the annual CouchCon. This annual star-studded event has graced such venues as Wimbledon, Madison Square Gardens, and most recently the VR World, where Kiss performed their first ever virtual concert on the backdrop of an oversized wooden stage built by the Black Magnet himself.
Wimbledon.
We did. We went to Wimbledon. If you happen to make it, you will be sure to share a laugh, shed a tear, and possibly even get lost in the internet for a week, as Blake did.
Yeah.
You will definitely be telling your friends it was a full 7, which again is the highest score on our scale. You may be asking yourself, how do I find these pilot episodes? Well, since the boys of Couch Pilots are so generous, they provide you a link to every show they discuss as it fits their criteria, and it must be free and available on the internet. So now all you must do is grab yourself a helping can, put your tray table in the upright position, and enjoy a smooth flight over some rough pilots. David M.F. Lytle, and we know what MF stands for.
Mother, father.
Mother, father, indeed. You know what, David?
He's on the Wall of Fame.
Go ahead and grab yourself by the shirt collar and elevate yourself to the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I have no authority to put him on the Wall of Fame.
Yeah, sure
but should he exist there? I believe.
Yes, and not only for his contributions on mic on the show, but as well as things like this and some of the voicemails he's provided us.
God, remember when he spilled that taco sauce all over his beanie? You remember that? He just ripped it open and it went all over his head, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
That was the episode where I think I got some tacos and asked for sauce, and the guy threw a bunch of packets in there on kind of like a smart ass, but I was like, yeah, joke's on you, I love this shit.
Yeah, and then I feel like just in the middle of the show, he just decided to rip open a hot sauce because he was gonna just eat it.
He's great.
But then he just decided, it was one of those.
And that was during the first Tuckley 10 that we did, because Rough Magic was a British television pilot.
It was a British television pilot.
So go back and find the episode Rough Magic. I guarantee it's going to be better than this episode. Listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so as well.
Today we discussed the pilot episode of...
That was fan feedback.
That was fan feedback. Thank you, David. Mm-hmm. We discussed the pilot episode of North Hollywood from the year of our Lord, 2000+1. Great year.
Good year.
You were 11. That's insane.
It's not that crazy. You were 19. No, 22.
20.
Oh, okay. one less. Okay, got it.
I
20.
always think of 2001. I was like, oh my god, the Twin Towers fell down. I was 19 when that happened, but I was. But then I turned 20 the next month.
Yeah. When was Lorelai born?
Oh god, it's got to be mid late aughts probably. 2006.
Because you were okay. So how old were you
When she was born?
Yeah.
24.
Okay, so 24. Yeah. So 19, still a young chap.
Yeah, I was a young man still for sure, and
So that I've said this multiple times on different podcasts.
great. It was a conspiracy. We know America attacked itself. You
So-
really want to get into that?
No. Say the 90s ended
Oh, I'm sorry.
at 9/11. The 90s ended at 9/11. It went on for like a year, almost 2 years.
Yeah, the
The
90s.
90s,
I remember January 1st, 1990. The 90s was like, we're going to try to keep it going for as long as we can.
Did they say that? I don't. Well, obviously, I was
You were
born
too
in
young.
1990.
You were too young.
But did they? Was that because I remember in 2000, it was kind of like we're going to be tech now.
Well, no,
you know?
the 90s did not concede to the
Y2K.
2000s. It said we're going to keep going.
Oh, you're saying in 2000?
In 2000, the 1990s did not concede.
Yeah.
And they're like,
No, I agree.
But also on January 1st, 1990, they're like, we're the 90s, and as far as we're concerned, it's the 90s from here on out.
I agree. Holy shit! Yeah. No, I'm a 90s baby.
What's
Right?
what's the best thing about the 90s besides you?
Probably the show Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the mama though.
Dinosaurs is a program that said
Not the mom.
we'll make 8 suits of dinosaurs, and that's it. We'll have to dress them up in different things to make them look like different characters, but we don't have a budget for more than 8 suits, and 5 of them are the family.
Did I show you the little toy I have?
No.
Yeah, I did. I sent it to the group.
Wait, is it the baby?
Yeah, not the mama. Yeah, the baby.
Dinosaurs might be like one of the dumbest fucking things.
It's
that
one of
was
the
on
first
Prime.
memories I have of TV.
Oh, is it?
Of
Of TV?
Yeah.
I can't remember what mine is. It's got to be like He-Man or something.
Fraggle Rock and dinosaurs were my first. If I Google dinosaurs, oh, cool! It's just the animals.
Remember his job was
Of
to push
course.
over trees?
Oh God, you got to type in TV show. What the hell? 1994 is when it came out. So yeah.
I always wanted dinosaurs like the last
Oh,
episode.
91 is when. Yeah.
Dinosaurs came out in 91.
91 through 94. Yes, Dinosaurs is my first like
3
TV
solid
memory.
seasons of really bizarre entertainment.
And was it John Goodman? No,
No,
it just
I
looked
think
like
the main character was very Goodman-esque.
because he was trying to be like Roseanne. Because I remember Roseanne was on around the same time,
Roseanne started like 88 or 89 and went for like 7-8 years.
and
So
he,
this is
he
like
wore the same flannel.
Yeah.
and I was baby.
yeah. So you're like, oh, that's Dinosaur Dan Connor.
yeah, exactly.
Dinosaur Dan Connor.
Dinosaur Dan Connor. That's what I said.
What
constantly.
a crazy show Dinosaurs was.
Yeah, I agree.
But
But this came out in 2001. I was 11, so I was a
Right.
fully developed human being.
all right, let's go back in time though to 2001 in our minds. And to do so, we'll talk about things that happened that year because we want to understand the pilot North Hollywood, in which the time frame that it was made and released. Because to do otherwise is to do a disservice, and we want to be as fair as possible here.
I agree.
We want to be even Stevens, right down the middle. Let's figure this shit out. Right?
Shia LaBeouf.
My daughter loves Shia LaBeouf. Actually, remind me later. I have a picture on my phone.
You saw my tweet, right?
No,
Okay. You have a picture on your phone of what?
of my daughter. It's a split image of her and Shia LaBeouf because my daughter's doing a very similar face here. What are you talking about?
I tweeted the other day because I was watching Sia music videos. Actually, ironically, we were talking about Sia last episode. I said, Shia LaBeouf in the Elastic Heart vid is about to make me act up.
That's where he's like just dancing around in dirty clothes and stuff,
And
right?
he's just absolutely yoked.
Here's
and
the-
looking
Here's the
hot.
thing. I love
AF.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Do you love Shia LaBeouf?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I-
Sang a song about him once.
Did you really?
Yeah. Rob Cantor did also.
Okay, here's the picture of my daughter. And she'll kill me, but I could put it online.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Twitter. Who cares? Oh wow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is she doing the
that's
LaBeouf
good.
face?
Yep.
I saw that and I was like, this is totally LaBeouf. She wasn't doing it on purpose either. I just did
What the hell's
that.
his name?
Shia
What's his
LaBeouf.
name in Stevens?
Louis
Even
Stevens.
Louis Stevens. That's
Hey, guess what? I'm 40 and shouldn't know that, but I do.
Oh, you should know it.
He is great on that show.
Mm-hmm.
2001, December 2nd, Enron files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection 5 days after Dynergy cancels a U.S. $8.4 billion buyout bid. To this point, the largest bankruptcy in U.S. history. Did you ever see the documentary Enron, Smartest Guys in the Room?
Yeah.
Or more importantly, the movie Other Guys?
Yeah, I the other guys with Will Ferrell and
Danny, Mark Wahlberg,
Mac Wahlberg.
Marky Mac.
You ever do a desk pop? Yeah. Thanks for the F Shack, Dirty Mike and the Boys. That's my favorite part of that movie. Yeah.
That movie is grossly underrated.
Yeah, and I remember after I left the theater, I was like, that movie sucked so bad, but it was so funny. It was. I remember I was like,
I thought it was.
I was
great.
like a kid, and I remember going
thought
up.
that movie was so good.
No, I remember coming out of it and saying like, I laughed my ass off. That was so funny, but it was such a bad like movie. But then now,
yeah,
I appreciate it.
I can't see.
I appreciate it.
I can't see things in that spectrum. I look at that and think.
I was more artsy back then, so I was like trying to. I gotta appreciate film.
Marky Mark is surprisingly great in that film.
Oh yes, he's very very funny. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
And the other guys is kind of about like insider trading and the the ultra rich corrupting and stealing from pensions and that sort of thing. The Marky Mark keeps wanting to make it about like, oh, they're into drugs and like and Will Ferrell's like, no, I have the paperwork to show that it's blue collar, it's white collar crimes, but it's so funny.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Oh
Love
my
it.
god.
What does he say? So, aim for the bush, and they jump.
Oh,
off
The Rock
building.
and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And then Marky Mark's like, hey, I think we found ourselves a transformer.
And then
Will Ferrell?
Jamie Foxx, at the crime scene, LOL.
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx is in that movie.
No, he's not.
Jamie Foxx and Rob Riggle are like the two rival.
Oh, that's not
cops.
Jamie Foxx. That's Damon Wayans Jr.
Pardon me.
No problem.
He says at the crime scene, LOL, on his BlackBerry. Anyways.
Oh my god, that show's so good.
Yeah.
December 15, the Leaning Tower of Pisa reopens after 11 years and $27 million spent to fortify it without fixing its famous lean. Have you ever seen this thing in person?
I've never seen it in person.
Have you ever
Never
been
to
to-
Europe? No, never been outside of the continental. Well, outside of North America.
Would you go on an international excursion with me?
Only if we can go to Clayton, England.
And you're going to want to high five that shit. Listen,
Are you still talking about 2001?
yeah.
Can I say a quick thing that happened there?
I wish that you would.
Desmond Mason of the Seattle Supersonics won the 2001 dunk competition.
Oh, yeah.
Did he do it like over a Kia or something?
No, that was Blake Griffin. I just figure if there is a year when the dunk competition was happening, I think I should give my not opinion, but I should give who won the dunk competition because I love the dunk competition.
You know what? This show is unmolded clay. If you want to do that going forward,
100 pounds of it.
What's that one? Oh, Lovely Day. I keep mixing Lovely Day with 100 Pounds of Clay.
Both great songs. Both amazing songs. I should say.
Both sang on Karaoke Big E.
Yep, very much.
Find it in your internet browser.
Yeah.
Yes. I would. The Tower of Pisa. You got to go there and you got to take the picture like you're holding it up.
Yeah.
And then you have to make a joke about pizza.
Yeah, there's one. Well, that happened in the Goofy movie. Do you remember the Goofy movie? With Powerline?
I do. Wait. I don't remember. I remember the Goofy movie, but I don't remember what exactly we were talking about.
Pauly Shore had a role.
Was he like one of the young?
He was a young guy.
Yeah.
They were in the waiting room at a doctor's. Why do I fucking remember this? They're in like the waiting room at like a doctor's office, and he's like,
You heard of the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Is the Leaning Tower of Cheese.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
That was like from the
It was
commercials and
pizza.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I used to see that was a preview on a lot of movies that I watched.
Yeah. Oh,
But
my
also
God.
the movie itself, I loved.
One of the great actors.
Yeah.
Of this generation.
Yeah, I agree. Pauly Shore.
Also,
What else is in 2001?
thank you for asking. An Argentine Great Depression called Corralito the government effectively freezes all bank accounts for 12 months, leading to a December 2001 riot in Argentina. I tell you, if someone
do you remember that happening at all? Or
not
no?
at all, but I will tell
Gosh.
you, if someone froze my bank account, it would have almost no effect on me.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, we were just talking about how I don't deal in cash, so it would have an effect on me.
Is that something our government would do to us during the coronavirus in an attempt to keep everybody indoors and isolated and in quarantine to help slow or maybe even eradicate the virus until a vaccine can be properly distributed across the nation? Do you think the government would freeze bank accounts to keep people at bay?
No, I think they could, but if they did, then it would be a cry of, socialism, communism, and then it would make the right and left separate even more, and
It'd be absolute bedlam.
We'd have an actual civil war on our hands.
Probably so.
Which I don't think we're far off from having if Sleepy Joe doesn't, if he's bad.
Well, the first thing he
but-
said is like, "Hey, I'm going to talk to you like a human being
exactly,
rather than a monster,
Yeah.
and
No,
I
no.
want to unite the country rather than divide."
No,
it.
if he dies, then
You think if the black lady's president, there's going to be bedlam?
yeah, I think it's gonna.
We had a black guy.
But this, she's so divisive of a character.
I don't really like her.
She's the divisive character
Yeah,
for both sides.
yeah.
That's the thing. You can be like, "Oh, Kamala is bae," or you can be like, "She's a cop."
Kamala is bae.
She divides the left so much, but then the right is so fucking against her no matter what, even though they should be with her because she's a cop. Whatever.
Well, Sleepy Joe is 77. Is that right? He'll be 108 by the time he does two turns.
He's
so.
gonna take the long sleep. I'll tell you that much before he makes it.
Very Sleepy Joe.
The long sleep.
R.I.P. J.O.E. Right?
Oh, Couch Pilot's Curse. Don't want to put that on right now.
Oh man. Why do we choose to watch North Hollywood?
There are 3 criteria that make up the pilots that we watch on this very program. The first criteria is that it is a pilot episode. Only one of them was made. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Second criteria is that it has to be on the internet. Third criteria has to be free except for those few times. Did I hear you say recently that was one of the few times the Amazon Prime thing, or no? Was that free also? And it was just better
my
to
thing
view
is
on there.
that a lot of people already have the pilot we watched was called Condor.
Yeah.
I think it was 80 plus minutes.
Yeah.
And then Blake it was on my birthday, and Blake brought in Matt, so it ruined the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
And then basically is only on Amazon. So I think most people have Amazon already.
Yeah.
Or you can get a free trial. So to me, you play your cards right, it's free for 95% of the people. What are you doing?
Bleeding the fuck out of my finger.
What did you do?
I bit it a little bit.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm Blake.
El Vampiro. Where can you watch the entire episode of North Hollywood for your dumb self? Well, you can do it by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Come on.
And you know what to do, too.
Sometimes I press the wrong button.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's already clotting. We're good.
The taste is good, or your wound is...
Both.
Okay. You have a lot of iron in your blood? Sometimes, women like to have a lot of iron. They eat iron when they're having their periods because they lose a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have in your period right now?
Been eating a lot of cereal, actually.
Oh, what kind of cereal? And how does that fit into your weight loss plan?
The Chex Mix kind.
Ooh, yeah.
And Oreo O's.
You know what I love? I love a good muesli. You ever heard of a muesli?
Oh, I almost gagged. What is
Yeah.
muesli's my muesli is my moist.
Oh, you don't like that, huh?
Oh,
Some
muesli.
girls I don't like the word menstruate. Menstrual. But don't tell me moist. But muesli is yours. Huh?
Muesli. Oh boy, that one hits me wrong. Just hits me wrong.
That's fine. I won't say it again, muesli. Summary of the pilot. A struggling group of actors in comics form a friendship while searching for their big break.
Yep.
Now, last week you had devised a system,
A good,
that
bad.
ordered, a good bad system instead of a grading scale. That's your grading scale.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a solid good. Not a bad or bad.
Not a solid, interesting facts.
These are interesting facts about the pilot. Don't talk about them. That's about it.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
It's got a bicycle.
That was quick, to the point.
Yeah.
To the point.
No faking.
Yeah. Interesting facts. Judd Apatow, creator of the program, has stated that he created the show because he couldn't cast Jason Segel as the lead in another one of his television shows, the college comedy Undeclared, starring Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, Bear Show. Yeah.
You ever watch that fucking shit?
I didn't, but I'm familiar.
It's like 13 to 20 episodes, something like that. I used to own it on DVD.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Saw it. I was just a kid back then, but this is like right when I was starting to get into comedy, like middle school. So, yeah.
I think that was mainly Jay Baruchel, Carla Guiano.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Seth Rogen was
Seth
definitely.
Rogen. Yep.
Amy
Seth Rogen.
Poehler was in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart was in a little bit.
Yep.
And then Jason Segel was a reoccurring character, but was in every episode.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
Judd Apatow had Kevin Hart and Jason Segel live together for a week in order to help them get into character for this pilot.
Just a
Fact.
week. Just a week.
You think you want to do a couple weeks, right?
Hey, a couple weeks.
Come
A month.
Yeah, do a month.
How hard is that?
When Jason Segel leaned over the toilet to shoot a scene, his nose started bleeding profusely. Instead of breaking until it subsided, they worked the nosebleed into the show. Fact.
I'm a nosebleedman.
Are you?
Yep.
Was it dry weather? Is it anxiety?
It's a lot. It's a lot of different things. It's mainly just the physiology of my body. I have very, very small capillaries that are very, they're just bad. You got to be cautious with my capillaries.
Can you feel it coming?
Oh, very much the weekend.
But is there? It's not like a mood or a feeling or like, it's not like a flight or fight defense, is it?
No. There are a lot of variables, but a lot of the time, the most common thing is when it gets a little bit colder outside and I start forming a little bit of boogers, I just start picking my nose a lot more, right? And a lot of people do. But I have very fragile
Capillaries,
nose,
like you said, right?
Very, very fragile nose blood vessels,
I see.
and they pop at the drop of a hat. Yeah, even in the summer, if I have like a cold or something, if I'm like blowing my nose, pick my nose. The other day, I had one of my first like fully bloody, nose things, and I was like, pop that off at the beginning. Figured it out, so I just know I'm entering bloody nose season.
I don't have a lot of bloody noses.
Yeah,
like less than one.
a lot of people don't. I'm unique in the fact.
Here's my nasal problem though.
Yeah.
In my right nostril, I get a lot of boogers that accumulate.
Yeah.
Why?
Depends on which side you sleep on. Also, it depends on which side you're just predisposed to more, like righty, lefty.
Really?
When you're at work, if you're more this or
So
this,
whatever side you lean into, you're bound to get more boogers there.
and that means that you have like less of a, you don't have a fully deviated septum, but your septum is just not
There is some
fully
sort of
intact. Yeah.
the parabola swings to that side.
Has nothing to do with being bad or anything, but it's just part
I'm
of
not
aging.
bad.
Part of aging.
I'm not bad. I'm good.
It's part of aging. My dad is like pretty
Ted Kaczynski.
pretty yeah, he's pretty healthy as far as like all the weird shit goes. Like his hair is pretty intact.
Yeah.
He's got good teeth. You know, all the other, like, he's got bad joints. That's the only bad stuff.
And me, it's a booger problem.
Yeah. So same thing happens to him. If he's at his desk like this, he has to switch his mouse to go lefty.
Or what? His joints will start acting up, or the boogers.
Boogers. Yeah.
He just load up.
Yeah. Booger meat. Snot meat.
Give me your dad's number.
Yeah,
after the
sounds
phone.
good.
Stars of this pilot, Amy Poehler, Jason Segel, and Kevin Hart, were also all reoccurring characters on the short-lived sitcom Undeclared.
Yeah.
Fact.
Fact. Jason Segel played basketball in high school, and won the state's slam dunk competition fact. That's 6'4".
Okay, wow.
He also was not a starter in high school because the entire time that he was playing in high school, he was playing behind the first out as gay NBA player of all time, Jason Collins fact.
Oh, really? Wow, how do you like that? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I like that. In fact.
Mhm.
Finally, Steve Guttenberg was Judd Apatow's first choice to play the down-and-out actor role.
Love that.
That went eventually to Judge Reinhold. Fact.
Fact. It's a good fact.
You want to talk about guys that got yoked?
Oh my God, the Goot.
The Goots got
and
it.
Carrot Top. The Goot and Carrot Top are like got a monopoly.
Goot and
on
the Carrot, man. They're
got a monopoly on the 80s, 90s actors that just got absolutely shredded in the aughts.
It's a quarter after the hour. I'm Goot here with the Carrot. We're yoked this morning.
Ira and the douche.
We got traffic on the nines coming up. Traffic, how are you doing?
I can
Talking
tell.
about.
I can tell she's a porker.
all right. End of Twitter response, or end of interesting facts. Beginning of Twitter responses.
Yes. Twitter responses. I know of one because I follow the Twitter account, which is at CouchPilotsPod. Follow the Twitter account, and you know what? If you're following, you might miss them. But if you go to the account and you hit the tweets and replies tab when you're on mobile, you can see where we're tweeting. You can see what's going to happen next week. This is one of those cases. Who did we get a Twitter response from?
You said
Jason.
you said you saw one, and one is the only one that we got. But oddly enough, this is the most liked and retweeted Twitter response we have had in our history. I haven't checked it recently. Honestly, I had trouble finding it.
Yep.
But we have well over 300 likes and many retweets, and that's because the person who responded is the creator of North Hollywood. And again, to top on all this, arguably the highest profile person we've ever had respond to us.
Probably,
and we've
yeah.
talked to people from The Simpsons.
Yeah, for sure. He is
Judd Apatow.
He is very active on Twitter as well.
Well, that's great for us because Judd Apatow at juddapatow.com responds to us. And what we do on the show when it comes to Twitter responses, we take a look at the actors, the directors, producers, creators, the writers, the big people involved in creating these pilots. And we say, hey, we're Couch Pilots. And we're a podcast that talks about TV shows that had only one episode. Next up for us is North Hollywood. We're excited to watch it. And we're wondering if you had any fun or interesting info you'd like to share. Thanks. We hope to hear from you. So Judd Apatow responds, in the middle of shooting, ABC announced publicly they wanted their new sitcoms to be like their classic ones from the 1970s. Right then, we knew we were dead.
Yeah.
Enjoy. So, I mean,
how perfect is that Twitter response, right?
it sums up a lot. And honestly, that statement that he gave us mirrors a lot of information that I found researching the pilot.
Yep.
But it was still nice of him to belt out a couple sentences to the humble podcast that is Couch Pilot. So
I love it.
So seriously, thank you, Judd Apatow. And honestly, I have been a fan of Apatow's work ever since like 40-Year-Old Virgin. When I first became aware of him as a young man, I was like, oh, this is the kind of comedy that I love.
Yeah, 40-Year-Old Virgin is kind of like his breakout for,
I mean, he did
our
Freaks and
generation.
Geeks. He did Undeclared. He did
Yeah.
Heavyweights. But
Yep.
and he did the Ben Stiller Show, I believe.
Mhm.
But
I did
most
not. I was
notably-
not like sure of who those people were. Like I wasn't like, oh, this is an Apatow joint.
Yeah.
Like that was like the first 40-Year-Old Virgin was like, okay, this is the start of an era.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like Pineapple Express
Yep.
is great.
Yeah, all those
Knocked Up.
films in the mid-aughts.
This is 40. Even like Funny People, kind of the
Funny
dramatic
People was great.
turn. It was great with Sandler.
Yeah.
It was
It
fantastic.
still is. Everything that he puts out now is still, got his little kind of thing. It's like Coen Brothers.
He did Trainwreck.
You can tell.
Did he do He did Staten Island King?
Oh, I think he might have.
Was he a producer for that?
I think he might have, and I didn't watch it.
I haven't
but
seen it yet.
really
I would watch it.
know that I would like it.
I mean, because I'm not in love with Pete Davidson.
No.
But I
something
get
there.
his appeal.
There's
and
something
then
there.
like Bill Burr and Marissa Tomei in it. Like
There's
it's
something
Judd
there.
Apatow. Come on, it's gonna be
And
good. It's
one
gonna
of
be
the like co-leads, some black kid.
good. I love black kids. That's why
he's-
they call me the Black Magnet,
his
because
name's-
I'm good with black kids.
His name's Lou something, and he's
got it.
actually a really funny comedian, and I
Is
like
he?
him. Yeah, I know, and he's a good like actor too, because I've seen him in a couple
Well,
sketch things.
I would say watch Staten Island King. I
Sounds good.
know
Instead of this
eventually. Yeah.
fucking shit.
Fucking shit's about right. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and put 10 minutes on the clock, and let's discuss the pilot episode North Hollywood. Kevin, you want to start us off?
Sure. Starts off with Jason Segel waking up. Well, it actually starts off with just a montage of who are the cast.
It's like a rockabilly song panning L.A., right? And all kind of like headshots of it because they're all actors and comedians.
They're all actors, comedians. They're showing, okay, who's in this? Jason Segel, Amy Poehler, Kevin Hart. I knew the screenshot, the thumbnail, I should say, of the YouTube video when you sent it to me via text had Kevin Hart in it, and I was like, okay, I like Kevin Hart. He's a funny guy. Anyways,
let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
This is, like, I don't think she's hot or sexy, but this is the young, and I always use this adjective, the young and scrappy Amy Poehler that I love. I love this. We just started the UCB yesterday.
how about that UCB show, right?
What's that? Oh, she had on Comedy Central?
Yeah, the TV show?
Upright Citizens Brigade, the
Perfect.
show.
Yeah, this is right around the same time.
I love this scrappy version of her. She's just so, like, in it and raw and, like, just full of energy.
She's not playing character. She's trying to get it.
Yeah, I agree.
And she's doing it, which is awesome. Great cast is my first note here. First note after that, first line. Bring it. It's Jason Segel waking up like, come on, man.
Psyching himself up for the
Bring
day.
it.
And he's psyching himself because he goes to work, what I assume is at Universal Studios as like he plays
Theme park.
Frankenstein's monster at a theme park.
Yeah, theme park. Fun fact, Adam McKay pops up, first cameo.
I strongly suspect that Adam McKay is an
Behind him.
asshole.
Oh,
but
really?
I love Adam McKay.
Yeah.
I fucking love him.
Yeah.
I
feel the exact same way. I think he's an asshole, but I think he's really funny.
He's so funny.
He's so funny, and everything he has his hands in is very funny.
I love
but
the old
I
days
feel
of
like
SNL.
He's an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's an asshole. I like on the old days of SNL. They're like, hey, we don't have a good idea for a monologue, so host, you're gonna just speak to the crowd. He'd always be one of the guys in the crowd
every single
He's
time.
so fucking funny.
He's really
And
funny.
he was the head writer for I think a couple years.
He has a
SNL,
really
right?
really good just comedic sensibility.
I think right before Tina Fey, he was the head writer.
He's not only very funny in his writing and all that, but he's a funny actor.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
he's
I
good
enjoy
at he's good every role that he's ever had.
You mentioned
has been
Dirty
funny.
Bike and the Boys. That was Adam
That was
McKay
Adam
from
McKay.
the other
Yep.
guys.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
So Adam McKay chews him out for scaring a child.
Don't talk. Very like the sketch from I Think You Should Leave, which I'm assuming you still haven't seen yet for some reason.
With Tim Robinson?
Yeah.
I've seen them all like
Okay,
2 or
good.
3 times.
Okay,
I
good.
love that show.
You know the Chunky? Oh, you got a Chunky.
Which
the guy
one's that?
comes out.
Oh,
and
the
it's
game
like-
show?
Yeah. He
with
goes,
Andy
Sander.
Yeah, Andy Sander.
and he comes out. He's like, he starts talking. Oh, don't talk.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But Adam McKay literally says that. He's like, don't talk.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
Kevin Hart lives with Jason Segel, whose name is Gary.
Yep.
And he also lives with Amy Poehler, whose name is Wendy. And they're
Kevin's name is Kevin.
and at home, Kevin's watching a commercial that he's in. And
Hey,
it's like,
guys, my commercial's on. It's called On Time Beer.
yeah, genuine drafts.
Yeah.
It's
It's just a dumbass commercial.
Wendy, who's Amy Poehler. Wendy is constantly tonguing her dog in this.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's pretty off-putting.
I have a couple notes here before we get to that part. I say Kevin Hart, as he delivers a few lines, I'm like, he is exactly the same actor that he is now, and I like that. He's a good comedic actor.
I remember
think.
he stole the scene when he was in the 40-Year-Old Virgin when he was like buying that he was at the electronics store, right?
And he also was in one of the Scary Movies too with the fat guy turned skinny guy, Anthony Anderson.
Okay.
He was in one of the Scary Movies.
I don't know that I saw that one, but
and he also
Stole
was
the
very
scene,
good
huh?
in that. I mean, he is a good comedic actor.
He's
he
all right.
plays a character very well,
Yeah.
very much like the pilot that we will not talk about ever again with Michael Richards. Plays a character, that's it.
Okay.
Kevin Hart plays a character, that's it. Anyways, yeah, Amy Poehler, I wrote I wrote that I love when people lick dogs like that.
because when their tongues are intertwining,
because it's so funny because like there are people that like kind of do that, but then like you never really see it unless they're like, I don't know, like drunk or something, and they're like with their dog. Like you never really see it in real life, but you do kind of see it. And then she's just doing a parody of that, and I think it's so funny. Yeah.
They all live together in this house, and they're all like aspiring actors.
Yeah. Amy Poehler is Judge Reinhold's assistant. She says, "I'm going to quit."
Yep, she's declaring that she's going to quit the next time she sees him. Next scene is Gary, who is Jason Segel. He's at his parents' house. His parents are Phil Hendry. Do you know Phil Hendry?
I recognized the guy.
He
totally did.
He does a ton of voices.
I thought it was Stephen Tobolowsky at first, but it kind of looks like a bald kind of guy.
And he's some other lady who's his mom, or I think maybe a stepmom. I don't know
For sure, yeah.
But he's meeting with them because he needs money. So he's basically asking for that. And they're like, hey, you know what? We don't want to give you money. We want you to make it on your own. Why don't you get a job as a waiter? And you need to figure out how to support yourself, because they're clearly very, very wealthy. They're just not spreading that wealth, which I think is kind of the right thing. They want him to grow.
Good lesson. Can I just say here, I love Jason Segel as an actor. I think that this has all right writing, and he's doing the best he can with the script.
Yeah.
And the script, and it's so meta because he's trying to be a good actor.
Right.
But it's like, this is like a perfect, like, it's just so perfect because it's like, okay, this is a sitcom script, and he's playing it pretty real. One of my favorite movies of all time is I Love You, Man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I love Jason Segel's just his disposition. I love how he acts.
Yeah, he acts like he doesn't give a fuck about anything. He's very confident in who he is and what he believes in.
I
that
just
film,
love
yeah.
it. And then he's like, in this one, he's like, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to do it. And he's not playing it like dumb. He's playing it like kind of real dumb, which I think I can see where people would think that it looks kind of tacky, but I like Jason Segel as an actor. I want to watch that movie where he plays the guy with the bandana all the time.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
He like plays a famous writer.
Is who else is in that? Harry Potter's in that? Daniel Radcliffe?
I think maybe he plays a guy, and they shot it in like Champaign or Bloomington.
Oh,
or
did they
something.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know that they shot it.
Well,
in,
I do like Jason
Bloomington.
Segel as well, and it's funny that you say meta because it is kind of a meta thing.
It's
in,
very
in
meta. He's
2001.
doing good acting while
Yeah.
he's talking about like, I want to be an actor. You know, it's like cool.
I was thinking it's meta in the fact that here these kids are unknowns. Like who knows Amy Poehler and Jason Segel and,
In
and
this
Kevin
pilot,
Hart,
yeah.
and they're trying to do what they're trying to do.
They're doing
Yeah.
what they're doing.
It is
yeah.
kind of I never
which
thought
is
about
very
that.
cool. Which is I just really liked it. And then so they go back to their house. They're talking about the stuff. Amy Poehler's like, I chickened out. I couldn't quit. They wanted him to play some like they wanted Judge Reinhold to play a young Judge Reinhold, but then he couldn't be the dad because he was too young to look like a dad. And they're talking, and they go, "Whoa, Gary, you look just like a young Judge Reinhold."
You should go out for the role that we're talking about.
In that very moment, I was like, he kind of does.
Yeah, you know why he does is because even if you look at a young Judge Reinhold,
Yeah.
he's this kind of tall, lanky guy, but with this weird kind
Face.
of doughy face.
Yep. Doughy face,
Segel
tall
is
guy.
exactly like that in
Yep.
this. They're totally right when they nail that. I don't
He's
know how that
6'4", by the way.
Segel is.
Yeah.
He's lanky in this. He's like put on pounds over the years, but here he is this lanky guy with again this kind of weird doughy face.
Honestly, I feel like he like bends down sometimes in scenes.
you think so?
I think he does because he's so 6'4" is very tall.
He's tall.
Yeah. So then you look like it. It's like, and then they're like, yeah, go to the audition. Let's do it. He goes to the audition. He gets like really nervous. He's just in his head like the entire time. Anyways, we move on to. Was there anything? Oh, there was the girl that he knew that was like running the audition.
Allison, yeah. He said he remember. I
was
don't
very
know where he knows
weird.
her from, but
Yeah.
he knows the casting
like-
assistant.
They probably like fucked or something. Anyways.
Yeah.
They cut to Kevin Hart doing a set. Before we get to the set, on the marquee, I don't know if you noticed this, Jason, but this is a double banger of a Rick Ducommun. Okay? Rick Ducommun, comedian, he played the character Fat Boy in the pilot for the show called Slickers.
What the show we did last week?
That is for the show that we did last week. His name
on the marquee.
His name was on the marquee.
That's the name of the actor who played
That's
him.
the name of the actor
What?
who played him. He was doing a stand-up set at the set that Kevin Hart was doing.
I did not catch that at all. Wow, that's an incredible piece of trivia you got there.
That's a double banger, Rick Ducommun.
Holy shit! Wow, well done.
Sucks that we didn't hear from him.
Yeah, no doubt. Well,
We did double banger, but he wasn't in it at all.
Oh
but he
my
was
God.
like on there. Yeah,
That's funny. I did not catch that at all.
I saw that and I was like, why do I know that name? I paused it. I'm like, why do I know that name? Go to the IMDb for Slickers and I'm like, That's why. It's Fat Boy. Wow. Anyways.
Well done.
Yeah, anyways, he kills a set. Gary says, I got to call back. We got to celebrate.
They're both excited. Yeah, let's have, he's like, Kevin's like, we got some women coming over tonight.
Okay, they're from
let's
acting
celebrate.
class.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no. Gary's like, I don't like the girls from acting class. They make me nervous.
Well, he has nothing to worry about because one of the girls is January Jones, who is arguably a very terrible actress.
Yeah, so January Jones, when she sees February phones, I
Yeah.
mean, she's on site, baby.
Here's the thing, like January Jones, she's a very beautiful woman.
Yeah, it's good looking.
But like, I remember like she's an X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
And I've seen that movie a lot because my daughter loves the X-Men movies.
Oh, yeah.
She's in there as Emma Frost, the White Queen. I don't know how familiar you are with the X-Men.
Yeah.
And she is awful. Like her acting is very bad. And I say that she's a bad actress.
She's a bad actress,
So
It's kind of like Isla Fisher for me. I don't like Isla
you
Fisher.
don't like Isla Fisher.
Hey, Rod, it's your best neighbor. She can't hide her accent in Hot Rod. Seriously, watch the
No,
movie.
I know. I
I know.
I've caught
We've talked about this
I love
before.
that. I love that movie. It's my.
Hey,
it's-
Rod, it's your best neighbor. It's my friend Matt always says that.
It's pretty good.
So
I think Hot Rod seriously might be my favorite
it's
comedy.
it's the best movie of all time. Brings over two girls from acting class. January Jones. She doesn't recognize Gary. She's like, "Oh,
They've kind of paired off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Gary's with January Jones, and then the other lady is with Kevin, kind of practicing accents, and he's trying to get her liquored up.
Oh my God, he is doing such a great job here. I think acting wise, he's just like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Your accent's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, I could be like a British lady,
Yeah.
and he's just like, wow, that's nuts. Wow. Hey, you want to head to the bedroom? She's like, I don't think I'm drunk enough. He's like, well, take mine. Take my beer.
Have some more. Have some more beer.
It's so funny.
Get fucked up.
And then they go to the bedroom. He's just like, yeah, keep telling me the accents. She's like, what would you say if I was like, I am a horny lady? He's like, oh, okay. He like does like
He tries to
one
do-
line,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then they just start making out, whatever. Very fun. I thought that was so funny.
So they're like kind of getting busy in
Yeah.
there, and then May is telling Gary that she wants to see the ocean and that she doesn't have a
She's
car.
from Iowa, doesn't have a car. Yeah.
And then Gary tells May that he is Frankenstein, and she thinks that he's in a movie where he's Frankenstein, and he
Yeah.
doesn't really tell her that he's just dresses at him at a theme park.
yeah.
Anyway, the next day Gary has a nosebleed, and he's in the toilet just
Yeah, that's
dripping
what we heard
blood.
in Interesting Facts. Yeah.
And then Kevin and Wendy, they come in the doorway and they're like, "Hey, I got to use the bathroom. Why don't you get out of here?" And then they're like, "Hey, man, I'm really messed up."
Yeah.
And so they try to kind of cheer him up.
Cheer him up.
Yeah.
That's it.
So Wendy just says, "You know what? To cheer you up, to help you out a little bit, I'm going to drive you to your callback on the way to get my headshots."
Instead of taking the bus.
Yeah. So he's in a bad way, and he's making himself sick with nerves.
Yeah,
I think is
just
what it is for this
so-
callback.
Coming from somebody who's been on auditions before, I can understand it, but then he's playing it to the umpth degree, which I know
it's
is
real. He has
yeah.
real nosebleeds, so
Yeah.
there's some truth to this. I think.
and also the typical LA person is a lot more nervous, about auditions than somebody like me is, who's like more of
Well,
a
what audition have you been to?
For plays and musicals,
Yeah.
and when I was doing Second City, we would have to audition to get into the next level.
Right.
So I would go in there and just be like, who fucking cares?
Did you eventually top out, or did
Yeah.
you eventually just say, I'm done?
I topped out, and then it was like, okay, you have to audition. Like, they would say, like, okay, you have to audition to get in the next level. You have to audition to get. I'm like, okay, whatever. Pretty much everybody gets in except for the people who suck. And there were a lot of people that sucked.
Yeah.
And then I was in like the top level, and they're like, okay, well, now it's kind of like grad school. It's the conservatory. And I was like, I would rather live in Chicago and do this, and I wasn't living in Chicago, so I was like, nah, not gonna do it.
Fair enough.
Nagada.
Hey, Nagada, you got your certificate though, right?
Got my certificate, baby.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
So he goes to the audition. He's well, before we do, they're driving the audition. Cuts to Kevin on the phone with Judge Reinhold. I kind of missed this part a little bit, but I was in it. I was like kind of folding laundry or whatever. He's talking to Judge Reinhold. He's like, we should do Lethal Weapon 3.
4.
We already did Lethal Weapon 3.
Yeah,
he's
we
like,
already did 3.
well, we should do 4. I was like, okay. And then he comes over to their house, and they're just like, or he goes over to Judge Reinhold's
And they're just
house,
hanging
whatever.
out, like
Just hanging out,
drawing up
shooting the
plans
shit.
for Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Your Beverly Hills Cop, yeah, not Lethal Weapon, yeah.
Minus Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he's gonna be Eddie Murphy. Just, he just does a quick.
He's
little
like Eddie
impression.
Murphy's cousin or something.
Yeah,
Is what he
Teddy,
said.
Teddy Murphy.
So back at the audition, Gary
Yeah.
runs into Colin Hanks.
Yeah.
And this is a very young, like 19 or 20-year-old
This is
Colin
so
Hanks.
good. This is the year before Orange County.
Yes.
which broke him. Kind of.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
And so Hanks is also auditioning for this role. And then Gary finds out that Tom Hanks is his dad.
Yeah.
And
It's great.
It looks like it's just the two of them
God, it's so meta.
for the role. And it's like, God, gee, who's going to get this part? You know?
Yeah. Spoiler alert: it's a college movie. Ends up, and it seems like it could have been Orange County.
It absolutely.
honestly.
The way that he was dressed, it looks like
I
Orange
think
County
it
for
would be
real.
Orange County, yeah.
So Wendy goes in for some headshots, and she
Yeah.
sees all these like super beautiful people
Couldn't-
in their headshots, and then she sees like a wildly
I
attractive model,
Tried to find out who that was. Couldn't figure it out.
beautiful woman.
Wow.
And she's
Just a
immediately
absolute babe.
intimidated. The guy comes in and is like, "Hey, you here for your headshots?" And she's like,
No. What?
No.
No. And just leaves. Decides she doesn't want him anymore. So then they're back at the audition. He's like, why are they laughing in there? Why? Colin Hanks is in there with the
"This is
audition.
a drama. This
Why-
is
why
nothing
are they
funny."
Laughing? Yeah, why are they laughing? And then they're like, open up the door, like, oh, right, great to see you. Give him a hug. See you later. Colin Hanks is just a great guy. Just like, you're going to do great in there, buddy. Go in there. See ya.
He was very nice.
And then funniest. I had a couple laugh out loud moments.
This
here.
this was
And
this
is
was probably the funniest
yeah.
part. I agree.
And he's just like laughing because this is like, I love Jason Segel in I Love You, Man. I just love his awkward moments. Like this is typical, like peak Jason Segel
for the pilot,
moment.
this is peak awkward moment.
This is so awesome. I love it. He goes in there and they're like, hey, all right, yeah. He's like, yeah, Tom Hanks was his dad, huh? What did Tom Hanks have sex with himself to make that kid?
Crickets, man.
And he's just like, the director's like, all right, should we do this or
Yeah,
what?
yeah, and like there's like 4 or 5 people in the room waiting for him to do his thing, and he's so nervous he makes this horrible,
makes this
awkward joke.
just so stupid.
No one laughs.
Gets
It
out
is
in the
funny
in the
though.
parking lot, just like kicking
Like-
shit around. Yeah.
It's like he fucked
Yeah.
up so bad.
And then this is pretty cool. So I think we cut back and forth between Judge Reinhold B story with Kevin Hart and C story with Amy Poehler not getting her thing, getting her job back, whatever. There's a couple BC stories, but the A story for me is that May shows up to the theme park.
And how does she recognize him in all this paint and prosthetics?
Tall, just tall, I think.
I
maybe.
guess.
Yeah. He's wearing the high boots too.
I mean, he
'cause he's
said he was
taller.
Frankenstein, so I guess maybe she's looking for Frankenstein. I
Well,
guess that
she's
makes
just
sense.
a tall guy with boots, and he's like, "Hey, May, what are you doing here?" She's like, "I thought that you were going to be on a film set. I wanted to see you." And then blah blah blah. Hey, Adam McKay's like, "Stop talking to the customers." Blah blah blah. He blows it. He runs. He finds her. This is a heartfelt moment that I think is actually pretty well kind of written. I don't know. He goes, sits down next to her. He's like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry I wasn't." She's like, "No, I wanted to see you. Okay, I don't care if you're a big actor, whatever. I wanted to see you. That's the whole point." He goes, "I like you. They like you. They kiss. Boom."
Well,
Great.
last week on Slickers,
Yeah.
Mike Blade and the son or the younger brother Scooter
Yeah.
Clinton had this heartfelt
love you,
moment that
yeah.
was like to me too much too quick. Like
much
I
too
don't
quick, yeah,
understand
definitely,
why.
yeah.
And I felt the same thing here because
Yeah.
like apparently he's known who she is for a long time because of their acting class, but she didn't even recognize him when she went to go hang out with him. And yet
Yeah.
after this one date, she's so invested and disappointed in him.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was kind of genuine in the fact that I think that she just kind of realized that she liked him like really quickly. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe there's something to the
Hey,
fact
I'm
that
closer.
she's like
I'm closer to that age than you are.
That's
pal.
true. That's true.
Okay?
I'm an old fucking fossil at this point.
But
So yeah, they admit that they like each other, and then
Yeah.
later that night, Judge is still at their house, Judge Reinhold, and they're making all these plans about Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yeah.
And then Gary gets a call, and the dog humps his leg vigorously.
Yeah.
And Wendy convinces Judge that Beverly Hills Cop 4 just won't work without Eddie Murphy, which is 100% true.
yeah, definitely.
And then Gary, he says, "Hey, I didn't get that part, but I got a part."
yeah,
And then, like we said earlier, it does look like they're filming Orange County.
yeah.
And
they
so
all come on set. Everybody's on set. Yeah, his dad and stepmom too.
everyone's there, even May, and they're like, "Hey, let's go get some donuts." And then they walk off, and the camera kind of pulls back and pans out, and then I think that's about the end of that shit.
That's the end of that show right there.
10 minutes exactly.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Bing bong.
Yeah, bing bong indeed. Often I will say, why didn't this show work? And occasionally I will dig up some information as to why. And I do have a little information here.
From Judd Apatow himself.
There is some information from him. And in an excerpt from Masterclass, Judd Apatow reveals he worked on a series for ABC that wasn't picked up due to its edginess.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do new, edgy experimental comedy. They wanted to go back to the days of Happy Days, he elaborates. The pilot he talks so fondly would have been titled North Hollywood, about aspiring actors and actresses. Apatow further laments the project, claiming it was one of the best table reads he's ever had. At the time, however, those stars of today weren't as big as they are now, and the less wholesome aspects of the show were ultimately not Disney's taste, because, of course, even at that time, Disney owned ABC.
Yeah.
But the director, who's found plenty of other success, reveals that it's part of the business, rejection. That's sometimes what happens. You work on something, you're very passionate about it, and the people that you hired to do it suddenly go, we don't want to do shows like that. We're comfort food this year. That's the kind of the end of his information. Here ABC explains why they passed. For a time in the year 2000, ABC wanted to reinvent themselves as the new Fox, which in the mid to late 80s and even into the 90s was kind of an edgier channel.
Definitely, for sure.
And ABC was looking for edgier shows to renew their ratings. Then, somewhere along the way, some really soft show, perhaps according to Jim or 8 Simple Rules, did really well, and ABC decided to base their whole network on equally soft shows. So when Apatow delivered this, they were severely uninterested.
Yeah, that's when you just got to take it to Fox, but I don't know the logistics of it. Yeah.
This show was 35 minutes long. If they wanted to make this a pilot episode, chances are they'd have to chop off at least 12 minutes, if not more.
There's a lot of usable stuff in there if you're going to chop 12 minutes off, yeah.
What would you do to improve this show?
I don't really know if I would improve it too much. I don't know if I'd be able to. I think it was a pretty good setup for a pilot. I also think that it kind of ran its course like a full movie in one episode. So it kind of wrapped itself up, but at the same time, you know, you have another thing to make Kevin Hart's the A story, you know. Amy Poehler's character, the A story this next episode.
Yeah.
Maybe the January Jones. She has something. You can have a lot of content here, but I really don't know what I would have changed in this particular thing. Maybe chopped a few minutes off, really. I mean, there's not too much filler, but there is some filler in there.
Yeah, I agree. There's not a ton of filler. Everyone kind of had their own storyline.
Yeah.
In some ways, they intersected. I
think it was really well written. I wrote halfway through the thing, I was like, I think this is pretty well written. I think the pacing was good, and just, that's it.
To me, if this show survived, I like the idea. I'll start by saying, as much as the word like edgy was thrown around, I didn't feel like this was a super edgy show.
Not at all.
It could have been. They could have definitely and easily.
It was also
delved into that
19 years ago.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Could have been. I don't know. We're more desensitized now.
But I mean,
it could have been edgy.
Almost every show that you watch is like, hey, we live in New York. Hey, we live in L.A. That's most shows, right?
I feel like it was room for edginess back 20 years ago too.
I agree.
They didn't really push the envelope. There was nothing. It was kind of evergreen almost.
I like the idea of actors
there was no, like,
trying to make it.
There wasn't like Kevin Hart like black stuff. You know, there wasn't like any racial stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like it was pretty. It plays pretty well now. You know,
I think so. Yeah. There wasn't. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's PC for the time for sure.
Very weird.
And for now as well. I don't mind the idea of the show. I think it could have gotten a little edgier. You'll notice there is no laugh track in this show.
Yep.
I liken it a little bit to another laugh trackless show of around the same time, and that's Arrested Development.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, now that show is noted for being very well written as well.
Yeah, a lot of good characters. A lot of very strong characters from the jump. So this is a little less strong characters.
I agree with that, but I think there's something to be said about this kind of like raw, edgy, laugh trackless modern comedy.
Yeah.
And,
this was right around the time when it was ripe, or it should have been.
ABC didn't want it, and honestly, probably wasn't the right fit for ABC. But to me, I don't know why it couldn't have been shopped around or why it wasn't picked up for like NBC. This is totally an NBC or a Fox comedy. didn't go that way.
But guess what? Who cares? Because these three have massive careers now.
This thing failing is probably the best thing for them.
Yes.
Ladies
100%.
and
Yeah.
gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray
Amy
tables
Poehler
are
kind
in
of
their
did well on
full
SNL.
alignment.
Jason Segel came up with some movies, and then you're like, Kevin Hart. And then Kevin Hart explodes into being like worth $500 million. Like
Sold
it's
out Levi's Stadium.
Unbelievable. You
Sold
mean
out-
Candlestick Park?
Yes, sold out Candlestick Park. The largest football stadium capacity in the country. He sold it out.
What is
stand-up.
the capacity there? Seriously, like 80,000?
At least. Yeah. Because WrestleMania did it, and it was like,
The Pontiac
Yeah.
Silverdome, 100,000.
yeah. It was 80, 90,000. Yeah. It was.
That's insane.
Yeah. So he sold it out. And you're right. It could be one of the best things that ever happened to him. But I think at the same time, I'm glad that this pilot was probably put into the hands of some decision makers, or Judd Apatow giving it to his friends, saying like, "Hey, hire these guys." This wasn't like their first thing by any stretch of the imagination.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
Jason. All three of them had done something a little bit before.
Siegel
but
had done
this was their
Freaks
first.
and Geeks.
This might have been like their first thing, like on screen as adults. You know, fully doing a sitcom and showing that they can be good actors,
Yeah.
comedic actors in a film setting. Also, like this is almost kind of like a movie. You know, the way that it's shot. Anyways,
I
it
agree.
was a good showcase of them, and I think that's why. I think this is one of the reasons why they were, you know, considered for other roles besides just auditioning and all that. So, yeah.
Final Descent. So let's take a look at what other people have to say about North Hollywood. We'll start with the IMDb Internet Movie Database conglomerate score, the average of what people said from around the world.
How many people scored it?
74 ratings.
I feel like people were unkind to this.
1 out of 10 decimal points in play.
I feel like people were unkind. Maybe like a 4.5, 4.5.
That's exactly right.
Ah.
Unbelievable.
Damn it.
Some would say crumbelievable.
Yeah.
Viewer reviews, 7 out of 10 scars. They're
Yeah.
back. This is from
They're back.
Desert Nan 49
Okay,
from
they're
January
back.
9th, 2007. Say, I was a big fan of both Judge Wapner and Rusty and was delighted to see the team in action again on Animal Court. That's the show that Judge Reinhold was watching on TV.
Yeah, Judge Wapner, yeah.
However, as much as I enjoyed the duo again after their departure from People's Court, I found this new series lacking in tone and substance. So I guess he was reviewing Animal Court
I
there.
guess, right?
Here's a few comments from Reddit. Oddly enough, oof! It's easy
Nice.
to see why this never made it to series.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I laughed my ass off, but I'm old, so ... Pilots are tough. With that in mind, for our first episode, I thought it was decent. Though
This your comment?
no, I wish it was. Though with a 35-minute runtime, you know they'd have to trim it down another 13 minutes or so if they actually wanted it to air.
For sure.
And then again, who knows? Maybe that was me.
Probably was, yeah.
Judge Reinhold too. All the characters except Jason Segel went by their real names. I don't think so. Amy went by Wendy.
Yeah.
That show nowadays would be awesome. Not that episode. Haha. The show, actors, and the idea for it.
We didn't talk about how awesome the Judge Reinhold decision was. I mean, I guess you did with the Steve Gutenberg in the beginning.
Yeah,
That was great.
Yeah,
I mean, he played pretty well. He played a good.
This is
a good,
a
like,
role
kinda
that you
douchebag,
cast
yeah.
where you're like the
Who
guy
can make fun of themselves?
Yes, the guy has to be able to say, I recognize what you're doing. I appreciate it.
That's funny.
I agree, and I play along.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Okay, cool.
And Judge
yeah.
totally did that.
Yeah, it was. He was great.
It-
Gutenberg would have done the same thing because
Yeah.
if Party Down, he did that.
That's how I know he was so yoked because
Yeah,
I saw him on Party Down. I was
God.
like, holy shit.
Well, yeah, I think they even brought attention to it too.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God,
like,
yes.
took his shirt off. Yeah,
he's ripped as shit.
and in that he kind of plays that almost.
If
But-
you
yeah.
make 6 Police Academy films and are in both short circuits, you probably got some money so you can lay around and do ab crunches all day. And goddamn it, he did.
Get yoked up. Yeah. I love how they just picked Judge Reinhold. Too.
Hell yeah, Judge gets it, man.
Yeah. That's
Judge,
funny.
I'm worried about Judge Reinhold though because not only has he had like a lot of plastic surgery, I worry that he's gone down the path of like Randy Quaid, where he's like an insane person. I hope that's not true.
And what's it? Daniel Stern.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Daniel Stern because I saw him last time I saw him. I think it was like on an episode or 2 of Love.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He
Well,
played.
he was good in that. He was good in that.
He played. But did he have surgery done?
To what?
I don't know. I thought you were mentioning Daniel Stern and
Crazy guy, Dennis Quaid,
Oh,
Randy Quaid.
But yeah, it's
Randy
so
Quaid,
weird that you mentioned Daniel Stern because I was
Randy
thinking
Quaid,
about him too.
Daniel Stern went crazy at the same time.
I didn't realize Daniel Stern did.
Oh yeah, he went nuts.
Oh,
He went nuts before Randy Quaid did.
oh, that's too bad.
When he was on Love, he had already gone through his arc of being a crazy guy, so that's why it was cool.
His
and
real
refreshing.
life arc.
Yes.
you're
I'm
saying.
sorry.
Wow.
That's why it was cool and refreshing to see him in Love because I was like, oh my gosh, they're finally giving this guy another chance. Because
Love
he
the
was
Sticky Bandits.
yeah,
man.
he was on like Facebook like spouting
was
real
he doing there?
weird shit. Yeah,
I didn't like what kind of like conspiracy
like
theory,
Randy Quaid
politics.
shit.
Oh, Randy Quaid. Oh,
Exactly.
no.
exactly.
Yee.
Yeah, it was bad. I feel like they were like almost doing it together at some point. I feel like they got in,
teamed
got
up?
on it. Yeah, I feel like they did. I
Well,
don't know.
there really
Could be
has
lying.
to be something said about like, hey, I'm 28.
Yeah,
I'm doing very well.
right.
41 rolls around and no one will talk to me. There has to be something to
Yeah.
that in driving someone nuts. There really does.
Yeah, which Steve Guttenberg and Judge Reinhold did it right.
Hey, they got it.
They got it right.
Get yoked, baby.
Yeah, and get doughy.
Landing.
Yeah.
Now we rate the pilot. We told you everything you need to know about fucking North Hollywood. Now listen to
Yeah.
us as we put a number to it. Did you want to try this time? I mean, last time you said it was the Cheers rating.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do another sitcom with 7 characters?
No, we're gonna do Cheers.
Yeah, do Cheers again? This is
Yeah.
the new rating scale?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 1 is a norm.
Yeah, this is the grading scale is based on now the characters from Cheers.
Characters from Cheers.
We take 7 characters, we assign them a number from
Yeah.
best to worst, and the worst one, the number 1, what's that?
Norm.
Yeah. Should we keep going through all of them or not?
No, you can just give me what's a 7?
And number 7, that's the best one. You know it's Ted Danson.
Pecker.
Famous from the show Pecker.
Well, the white-haired genius.
The fleshy log betwixt your legs. Captain Kebmo Slice, I
Yeah.
turn to you. How do you rate North Hollywood?
This is gonna get a 6 from me. It's not perfect because I feel like it ended. I feel like it started and ended, and it felt like a film that was just a little bit too short. I feel like I could have used a long film with all of these actors because they are great in films. They would also be great in sitcoms.
Yeah.
Situational comedies, that is.
How I Met Your Mother and Parks and Rec, they did it.
Yeah, they did it for sure. And I just think that it would have been great moving on, but this particular pilot, I don't know if it had legs to go anywhere else. So
6 is a high score for
6.
something
It's
you
a high score.
don't think it has legs. That's good.
I didn't think just this. You know what? It could have had legs, but this pilot itself is what I'm grading, honestly.
Okay.
And I think that it's a 6. Yeah.
Yeah, this is super telling of the times. This feels like an early aughts, late 90s pilot.
I love it. Yeah.
And yeah, it's not good or bad. It's just it's what it is for me. And I'm not going to do a 6, but I'll do a 5.
Yeah.
I did like this. I like Judd Apatow's comedic sensibility. I love the young, scrappy Amy Poehler. I didn't get into Freaks and Geeks. I would watch
No,
it.
I didn't either.
I'll watch
Yeah.
it, but a young up and comer like Jason Segel, apparently, Judd had stars in his eyes looking at this kid and wanted to do something with him.
Which he was right to do.
He was absolutely right, and
Yeah.
to put Kevin Hart in this too, an actual young struggling comedian.
For sure. Yeah.
To
that
me,
was awesome.
This combination of a young white guy, young black guy, young white girl living together in LA, trying to make it. There's a virtually unlimited amount of escapades, and I love the idea of running into celebrities too, because Judd Apatow, he's got that great Adam Sandler connection.
Yeah.
He pulled Adam Sandler to do an episode of Undeclared.
There you go.
So
You
he's
get
got this
Colin
pull.
Hanks. That's before Colin Hanks really broke, but you get Judge Reinhold talking about how he saw celebrities in the store.
I love the idea of celebrities
could have
coming
gotten
on
them
and
on.
playing versions of themselves. I think
Could have
there's a
gotten them on
lot
easy.
of potential here.
like a Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of deal.
100%.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. I give it a 5. You
Yeah.
give it a 6.
Good 5.
And with that, we close the book on North Hollywood, and we'll never mention that show again.
At least for the next few weeks.
Probably not. But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Rosie.
Rosie.
Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Rosie, the talking homeless mutt, meets Kip, who invites the canine to live with him. You can find the entire episode of Rosie by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice. Then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes or go to YouTube. Kevin?
And you will know what to do too.
That's absolutely right.
We did it.
We did it. We really did.
Yeah.
Some said it
Ding.
couldn't be done. Most said it shouldn't be done. But we did it.
We did it. Most.
If you like the show, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at
Yeah.
Couch Pilots Pod or Couch Pilots Podcast, couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. And finally, couchpilotspodcast.com is the website. It's the one-stop shop, ladies
That's
and
for
gentlemen.
sure, yeah. Yeah. And also follow Daddy Clark Diet and tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, give
On
him some
Instagram.
constructive criticism.
Yeah. Well,
Don't-
or just fully criticize. I don't.
Okay.
Who-
I don't know
do
what
I care?
emotionally you're prepared to deal with.
I'm emotionally prepared for anything. I'm a fat ass. Come on.
Good Lord.
Not much can tear me down.
All of our episodes are on our website, all the different
Yeah.
ways to contact us. You can be a frequent flyer just like famed Hall of Famer himself, David Lytle is.
Yeah.
Call 910-PILOTS-1, 910-745-6871. Leave us a voicemail, and you can hear what you sound like, and you'll be vastly disappointed.
Yep.
Patreon.com is a way to give us money. We like money. We spend money. And
Very true.
also, listen to Kevin on Karaoke Biggie and the Sixer podcast. He does
Yeah.
a great job there. Those shows are a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's Tuesday and Thursday, respectively. And listen to Jason on the Ernest P. Worrell Preservation Society. That is twice a month, right?
Yeah, that's a show where we take a look at the character Jim Varney.
Yeah.
And we say, what movies and what scripts.
What did they not make? Hey, you know what? Let's talk about something that wasn't made about Ernest P. Worrell.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
And this is about stuff that wasn't made. Hey,
This
look at
is-
that.
Yeah, there's some correlation in what I do. And the thing I always say about the Ernest P. Worrell Preservation Society is that we have been given over 100 ideas and scripts from actual writers of Ernest, people who were involved with him. These aren't things we made up.
Yeah.
These are things that were given to us, made by the people who created the Ernest character. They said, hey, you know what? No one else is talking about Ernest the way you guys do.
Yeah.
Take these, read them, make a stupid show about them, and God damn it, we did it.
And then, you didn't come up with these ideas, but you run wild with them and come up with your own ideas to throw on top of them.
We
which is
try
fun.
to have fun with them and
It's
elaborate
great.
on them and stretch it out a little bit. It's a fun show to do. I do that with my friend Dustin and Hoover Boss.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fun. So check that out. Anything else you want to say at the end of the show here?
Guys, eat a salad
I agree.
every once in a while.
Get your greens, right? Get some
Your
roughage.
greens. Makes you poop good.
Yeah. You got to scrub those innards. This
Yeah.
pilot may have been rough, but it is always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time.
See ya. Bye.
On behalf
This is
of
the
Couch
part where,
Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank
we
you
talk
for
about
joining us
some
on this
weird
trip.
shit.
We are looking forward to seeing
Yeah,
you
that
on
vegan
board
thing
again
that I saw was
in
really
the
weird.
near
It was actual animals being beheaded and fish being gutted in a commercial.
So you said that it was like a pig being beheaded?
No, I think it was like a calf or something. And honestly, I saw that and halfway
Like a
through the
cow
beheading.
calf.
What's that? A cow,
Like a
yeah.
cow.
Halfway through it, I turned it off. I was like, I can't watch this shit.
And you just change the channel, you just got to go out of the app.
I just turned it off.
Just turn the whole TV off.
I broke my television set.
You threw away your television a la Red Hot Chili Peppers from the album By the Way.
You got it.
Throw away your television, as they famously once said.